Let's talk about continuous range. So continuous is the same thing where we have a line, some kind of segment, or some kind of curve on the graph. So range is a set of all possible x values of a function. Nope, it's y. Just kidding. Range is y. Yes. It's easy to mix up domain and range. Domain is x, range is y. So when we think about our y-axis on a graph, it goes up and down. So when we are doing our range, we're going to look at the graph and go down to up. Or you can say bottom to top. Because the y-axis goes down and it comes right back up. So we are going to write this like we did our domain yesterday, but the only difference is we have y in the middle. We're still using our less than symbols, and we have numbers on the outside. So this is our how far down number. This is our how far up number. This is our less than symbol. We're going to do an open circle. Then if we have less than or equal to, that's whenever you have closed circles or the curve goes right through that. And you can have a mix of less than equal to. The or equal to?
No, on the top. The arrow. Isn't it supposed to go up? You said one's bottom, one's down.
Oh, because I'm saying the down number goes here and the up number goes here. That's what I'm saying.
Teacher knows best.
No, that's a valid question. Okay, let's go ahead and look at our graph. These are the same graphs as yesterday. The only difference is we're finding range instead. We're going to find out how low and how high. So let's look at our y-axis. And I'm going to see what the bottom of the function is and what number it's going down to. So I'm going to write down. Is it? -1, -2, -3, -4. All the way down is actually -5. Because it's where it crosses the y-axis at -4, but we want to know how low does it actually go. So the furthest down it goes is -5. Now we're going to see how high it goes, how far up. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're going to be solid lines. Remember how we made that fence yesterday? We're going to make our fence again today. There's horizontal lines. And we are going to use our highlighter to highlight outside the fenced in spot. So we are going to write it with y on the inside because remember it's range. Do less than symbols. And we put our lowest number first. So that's our down number. So it goes down. Yes, so they are closed. So what do we need to add at the very end? Yep, the or equal to. So what this means is all y values are negative, are between -5, and 4. Including -5 and 4. So yesterday with domain we said all x values are this. Well, with range we're talking about all the y values. Okay, let's look at the next one. We're doing the same thing. How low does it go? How high does it go? So we're going to put how far down does it go?
Here,
-1. And how far up does it go? 2. Now we're going to draw our fence. So the bottom fence, since that's an open circle, we're going to do a dashed line for it. But if it's solid, it's a closed circle, we're going to do a solid line. You want your lines to be as straight as you can. It's not going to be tilted or diagonal or anything like that. And then highlight outside the fence. Okay, so all the y values are between -1 and 2. So we're going to put y on the inside, put our less than symbols, do -1 and 2. But we're missing something. What do we need to add? This is a closed circle, so on 2 we're going to do the or equal to. So this is all the y values are between -1 and 2. We're not going to write it out. We're just going to leave it like it is. Okay, so the two end values, what we're going to write up here, we're going to write fence on bottom and top. So it doesn't have any arrows whenever you have two end values. So it's going to look like that with your or equal to shaded if you need it. So this is our how far down number, and this is our how far up number. Number 2 and 3 both have an arrow going in one direction. We have an endpoint and one arrow. So let's look at number 2. So again, we're going on the y-axis. How far down, how far up? So let's look how far down.
No, infinity.
Negative infinity, yeah. And then how far up? 3. Let's put a dashed line there. Up to 3. Okay, we're still going to put it in the same format. Y is in the middle. We put our down number first. Then we put our up number. And we put our less than symbols. For infinity, we're going to use our less than number. Then we're going to simplify by circling what we have. So what this means is all the y values are less than 3. That's what we're going to write. We're not going to do this one. So let's write all y values are less than 3. So they're smaller than 3. So they could be at 2.5. They could be at 1. They could be at 0. They're everything less than the 3. Okay, let's go to number 3 now. Remember, we're doing how far down to how far up. So how far down does this one go? Yeah, this one's down to 0. You look at the number on the y-axis, so it's down to 0. Then how far up? Infinity. Okay, so we need to highlight what's outside the fence on actually both of them. So this one's down to 0, goes up to infinity. Even though it's going left, we aren't worried about left and right. Remember, with range, we're only worried about, you know, the down and the up. It's a 0. So this one, y in the middle, do our less than symbols. How far down is 0? How far up is infinity? Okay, so we need to simplify this. So we're going to do the whole flip-flop. And this is y is greater than 0. It is closed. Good job. Don't forget that. We almost forgot it. Good job. And so we did the whole flip-flop because we want 0 and y to be flipped because we want the variable first. So y is greater than or equal to 0. So y is 0 or greater. Y value is 0 or greater. Okay, so we need to do our 1 in value over here. So that is where you have fence and arrow. So the arrow goes to infinity. The fence, we'll stop it. So this one looks like the same thing. Fence and arrow. It's going to look like this. If it goes up, or we should actually do down first. If it has the arrow going down, we have negative infinity on the left side. If it has arrow going up, we have positive infinity on the right side. Okay, and then our last thing is when we have 2 arrows, no end values, that means you have 2 arrows. This is the one that's negative infinity to positive infinity. And that's that all real numbers, the R with the extra line, all real numbers. Okay, so let's look at number 4. We're going to actually do both of them on 4. So let's see, how far down does this one go? -3, good. How far up? Yeah, the arrows are telling us it's going up to infinity. So we're going to have the or equal to on the -3 side because it actually goes through that point, -3. Then we have the infinity here. We want to do a flip-flop there. So y is greater than or equal to -3. So it's at -3 or greater. Okay, and then the last one that we're going to do is we're going to go how far down? Infinity. How far up? Yep. So we're going to go negative infinity to positive infinity, which is that all real numbers. So you're going to glue this in the next page of your journal. I'm going to pass back your assignment.